Hello everyone, Treecks here and welcome back to Yoshi Story. Back at the title screen in fact. Last time we actually finished off our first run through Yoshi Story. Because of the way this game works, we are actually only allowed to play one stage per world before we are forced to move on to the next. And therefore, there are plenty of ways to actually try to go through this game. In order to see everything, in order to clear everything, 4 runs are required at least in order to clear the story fully. So, in order to keep things easy and easy to follow along, I'll just keep all of the stages in order. Do all of the stages 1, then all of the stages 2, then all of the stages 3, etc. Pretty easy to follow along that way. But first we're going to cover the trial mode. Now that we've actually done a couple of stages, we can go in here and see all the stages you have played and cleared actually become available for free play mode, you might say. If you have seen and beaten a stage, they will appear here, so you can play them loosely. So if you're interested in playing the final stage, for instance, Mecha Castle, the final first stage, you don't have to go through the entire story, so you can just free play them here. Actually something I've been using on a completed save file in order to practice all of these levels beforehand. Because of course even I don't know where all of the melons are from my memory. I first do a lot of practice runs before I actually start attempting recording these, if it isn't obvious. But this is actually where you can just freely play all of the stages. Of course all of the stages 2, 3 and 4, not available for us yet in this save file. First we need to clear them. And that we can only do in the story mode, of course. First you need to see a stage there, and then here in trial mode you can just play them freely. That is pretty much how trial mode works. Let's continue with the story mode. That is why we're here today, aren't we? Let's return to World 1, where it all began. And this time around, as you can see, the first stage is depicted as red, and therefore saying we've already cleared this stage. Of course, you can do it again if you want to, but I'm working on Let's Play here, so Treasure Hunt we're not going to see anymore. At least not to try to clear it in the story mode. But all of the worlds actually have multiple stages, 4 of them in total. And today, the second one is up for page 1. Also, a potential first stage you play in the game. And this one is called Surprise! Exclamation point, exclamation point. And that is going to be the start of our second run. Because of starting again, our lucky fruit needs to be selected again. For us it does not matter, because we're not gonna go for the regular fruit anyway. But we are gonna go for regular Yoshis. I've actually decided to wait with the special Yoshis until the final run. So we're going to pick a regular Yoshi again today. Second run for red. So, we're back again. Oh, since I resetted my game, I need to shut this off again. So, we have a much more broad view on our screen. It's only going to get confusing if all of the fruits we pick up is going to be in the way the whole time. Ah, Mr. Caterpillar. This is also going to be our first melon. These 5 segmented guys actually run around in the stage, and we need to jump on them on all 5 of the segments in order to turn him blue. And after all 5 segments have been jumped on, he will turn into a melon. Thank you, sir. Second one is above this pipe, which we cannot go into. Now let's go stock up on eggs. And here is a message box. This one actually has a story about our high score. Score high. There are 12 lucky fruits and 6 ordinary fruits in every stage. All courses also have 30 melons. And these favorite fruits are worth 100 hearts. Yeah, we noticed. It's the whole reason why we're collecting them. But even if collecting all of the melons in a stage is a little bit too much for you, or you simply don't have the patience for it, lucky fruit is actually also something you can collect, obviously also being worth more points than a regular fruit. Okay. This tree looks crowded. The game is inviting us in order to do a ground pound in the middle. Ooh, they all get knocked out of the tree. Make sure to hit them to get plenty of points. The more you hit them with the same shot, the more points you get, as you can see. Yeah, this one talks about switch again. But we've already seen that the first time in stage 2-1, so that is not a new mechanic for us anymore. But it can be, of course, if you actually first try to go in this stage, then this is going to be the first switch you find. And this being the first special heart you find. But of course, we already know these things. And this time around we are actually required to grab at least one of them in order to progress with the way I'm playing. Next stage is going to be 2-2, and that only unlocks if you have at least one special heart in this stage. So remember that. For me it does not matter, I'm gonna go for 3 special hearts in every stage anyway, so... And I see Shy Guys in that tree, so die please. For some reason I always think it's funny you're able to turn Shy Guys into fruits with ground pounding. When you're invincible, of course. Does not normally happen. Let's just move on. And with moving on, I mean getting the fruit that is in this cloud. Sweet spot. Oh, apparently it's not in the cloud. Oh, the tree. Yeah, there it is. In that case, I'm not too sure why my notes say it's on the cloud, because it's clearly not. I'll remember to actually change that up when I'm done. This one is obvious. Hit another caterpillar for melon number 8. It's just like in a Mario game. I always get paranoid for every pipe that you're able to enter it. But I'm pretty sure there's not a single pipe you actually enter in this stage. Oh, here's another special vase. It's trying to make it sound like this one is hard to find, but it's pretty obvious where it is. It's this bubble down here. Oh, and speaking of bubbles, now that we're actually talking about that, you actually don't necessarily need eggs in order to pop them open. If you actually hit them enough times for just jumping on it or bouncing into it, eventually it will also pop open. Like this, as you can see. Also something I'm pretty sure I did not point out yet. But eggs are definitely not a requirement in order to open them up. In here we will actually find the next minigame, obviously. This one is going to be the delivery minigame again. And since this is World 1, I can't imagine it being too difficult. So, allow me to actually take a look at it quickly. Okay, just a single Shy Guy. And even that is not going to be an obstacle, because I already took care of him. This one is going to be super easy. Just make sure you stand under them correctly, so you stack them all 7. Because of course, if you don't stack them up before starting, you also immediately fail. At least for your all melon run. If you don't care about all melons, of course, this does not matter. But for me, it does. 7 pieces I want. Bringing us to the halfway point. 15. And this heart will actually give us the next secret letter for the secret message. This one being an O. And remember, officially, this is the second stage in this game. And therefore, this is the second letter. A little bit further in the stage, it looks like. And therefore, we need to go back. Because there's, of course, melons over here. There's 2 of them, so 17. And this is where we were. So, only these 2 melons you need to get. Oh, fly guy. Don't scare me like that. No, wrong button. That's one I wanted. To kill you. Not to sniff at you. Oh, speaking of killing Shy Guys. Hi guys. Bam. Lucky fruit. Oh, this one is especially interesting, because this one actually gives us the ability to ground pound enemies out of the trees again. And ground pounding is something we want to do anyway, because this pipe over here is not very clear, but this pipe actually has a secret. Bam! All of the Shy Guys fall out of the trees as fruit, but it is also where a special heart is. It's debatable whether it's a good idea to actually ground pound while invincible, because knocking Shy Guys out of the trees and actually shooting them with your eggs will give you more points. So, if in the end I'm not able to actually beat my high score for the first run, this part is to blame. Me sacrificing a lot of points here. Okay, that moonwalk I just did into this room is also pretty funny. You can actually initiate it like this by being turned around the moment you actually are at the edge of a room. And if you then start walking, you will actually moonwalk out of the room. But that's a little side note, a little play around. We also have room for stuff like that in this Let's Play. This second room, at least of the stage, will actually tell us why the stage is called Surprise. We find these boxes again. Remember, we can open them up in order to find something in it, like a melon for instance. But that's not the only thing these things can do. Let's make sure we're stocked on eggs. Yeah, we are. And the next question mark block is actually a different type, because as you can see, if we start pushing it, we are not able to do so. Ground pounding will also do nothing. And this one we need to hit with an egg and find out it's a jack-in-the-box. And this puffy enemy has a pretty clear patch. At least if we don't get blown away. Let's try that again. And apparently one shot's not enough. No, let's not hit him in the mouth. That does nothing. After 2 shots, it will lose its air. Once it's gone, it leaves behind a melon, of course. What else did you expect? And Poochie here points us out to another secret. At the tree. Oh, it's only coins. Not very important. Another box. Melon number 20. Here's another bubble. And this one is actually something new. If we open this up, we will find out a ghost platform will pop up. It looks like a failed hot dog right now, I know. But this is actually a ghost platform. If we step on it, we can actually move our control stick up, left and right in order to go up. Interesting. A little bit of a throwback to Yoshi Island, I feel. Salvo the Slime's Fort, anyone? That's what this reminds me of. But at least we need to use it in order to get the heart up here. Interesting little thing. Look up and down. Push the control stick up or down to look in that direction. Ooh, thank you for pointing us out towards the 8-point bug. Pretty traditional thing in a platformer. So, it's in this game too. And here's another message box talking about the boss, but we've already seen that in the first stage. So let's go grab this lucky fruit and get rid of the enemies and the bubbles pretty quickly without eating a single one of them. And these 2 boxes are actually something of interest. We don't want to ground pound these things. We want to push them together. Remember, if you actually pound them open, nothing will come out. Only if we push them together, then we will get 2 melons. Remember this trick. Later stages are going to make use of that more often. This crate is actually also pretty interesting because it is going to be empty. More on why it is empty later. For me it is empty. Of course for you it can already contain something. But because of the way I'm playing this game, for now it's going to be empty. We're talking about that in the bonus content, I think. Let's in the meantime just continue killing these puffy dudes. Melon number 23. If I'm able to get it. Here's another box. And you don't have to worry, this one we don't have to push against another one. Usually whenever that's the case, it's pretty obvious you need to do that, because most of the time the other box will already be in view, so you don't have to worry about stuff like that. Okay, here's another one of these ghost platforms. Ooh, but on the right side of the screen I see something else of interest. Remember these things from Yoshi's Island? Huffin' Puffin. We are here to help. My kids are eager to help you on your quest. And they have the same function as in Yoshi's Island. They get carried around as eggs and can then be used as homing missiles. Oh, but first I need to make sure they're in front of my egg row, of course. Just like in Yoshi's Island, if you shoot them, they will start making circles and eventually get back to us. So we can use them again. Homing eggs and infinite eggs at the same time. And these guys can be used in order to get the melons up here, for instance. Or you can just lick them up. Do whatever you want. As long as you have 26 when you're done at this place. That's all that matters. There should be another one of these balloon dudes. With the Huffin' Puffins it can be a little bit tricky to actually hit this guy. Since the eggs don't fly straight anymore. Therefore it's easier to miss them. There we go, melon 27. This message box will explain about the stars. I always call them stars, the game calls them coins, but because they remind me so much of the stars in Yoshi's Island, I always call them stars. Just make sure you catch all 5 of them in time, because they will despawn, and therefore you will never be able to get the melon again. Unless you reset the stage, of course. This tree should have the next one. No, that's coins. In that case it should be this one. There is a tree with... No, there's also coins. Oh, this is where the final melons are. This is one, yeah. And this is another balloon dude, yeah. Okay, I'm not sure why I thought one of the melons was in the trees here. Just some coins. Forget those words. And this is where the final 2 melons are. Balloon dude and a bubble behind him at the jar leading back to the beginning. But we are done here. 3 hearts, 4 miswarps, and 30 melons. Red does it again. Melon complete. And that was the first stage of our second run. Page 1, beginning, has been cleared in a different way. 6,500 points. I'm pretty sure that is more than our first stage last time, so let's try to make a goal out of that, beating our previous high score. We have a good start with that at least. The story had barely started. To find happiness, the Yoshis needed to hurry. Balloon monsters tried to slow them down, but the Yoshis kept moving. Now the Yoshis were a little closer to finding the super happy tree. Hey, I thought we already found that thing last time. The page turned and the Yoshis grew happier. Okay, and that's going to be enough for today. Last time we had a little bit of a longer episode. I did 2 stages twice in the previous episodes. So I think for now we are fine enough by doing just 1. Next time I'm going to try to do 2 again. I know the next one is pretty short, so I should be able to combine that with the second stage of World 3. But anyway, thank you for watching the beginning of the second run through Yoshi Story. Treecks out! See you in the cavern next time.